Okay, we're back again. Okay, do our countershaft now. So on that one there, we have an O-ring to deal with, which I just pulled out. It's right over here. So this is our O-ring. That's the one that seals the countershaft hole in the side of the case. So put that on your shaft. Take your fingernail, run it through there a couple times to make sure there's not any kind of a wave or twist in the O-ring. You want to make sure it's nice and round and flat and true. Now it's going to shear it off a little bit when it comes through. Hopefully it doesn't, but sometimes it does. So what I do is I put a little bit of 3-bond sealer from like here out. Not way up in here because you won't get in the bearing, but about here out. And as I put the shaft in there, I put a little grease on it. I mean, I put it through a dry hole because you don't want any. You want the sealer to stick to it, not any grease on this. So you'll make sure this is dry. Your grease is over here on your bearings already. And one thing we want to do, we don't want to have to twist it once we get it in there. So we have this lock tab right here that has a flat on it. So you gotta make sure you rotate your lock tab to where it works. It goes over here on this side, and the flat goes toward the rear. So you want to mark your shaft so you know which way it is, straight up. That way when you're beating it in there, you make sure it goes in straight. So right now, straight up and down is this way, like that, and we want the mark on top. The last thing you want to do is get this all in there all gooped up and have to rotate it to put this plate on, because that kind of defeats the purpose of the goop out here. Alright, so like that, line up, good. Good to go. Alright, so she gives you all the information that goes in this way. Now when you put this cluster gear in there, or assembly in there, this washer stays with the gear. This one you put in after the fact. Now for some reason this case went together with it in there. I don't know why it did that. I can't think of any time I've ever had that do that before. One of wants to just fall out anyway, so I don't even want to deal with that. So go ahead and drop it in there. It's like normal. Goes right on in there like that. You take your washer, drop it in on the side over here. Usually what I do is I put the countershaft in there first to get it centered. It doesn't hurt to put a little grease on there too. Okay, our marker goes up like this. Usually I grab the shift clutch with my fingers and lift up on it. There it goes. Rotate our mark up. Double check over here if you can see it, which I cannot. We slide a little ways, not all the way because I got to put grease on there still. Well, not grease, but sealer. Okay. So now I want to put the washer over here on the side. Put a little goop on it. It's going to want to fall over on us a little bit, so we put a nice good layer of it in there. Of course, now it does not want to go in. Figures. So let's get gravity to help us a little bit. Rotate it up. Of course the shaft fell out. Now the washer goes straight in because there's room. Come through the hole like we did before. It's centered up. It's probably not going to stay there because I got to deal with the other side for a while. And if we're lucky it will, but I doubt it. Okay. I'm going to take a little sealer and lube it up. So the race is about 5/8 inch thick, so don't go any more than that. You don't want this stuff in your bearings because the bearings won't work. Make sure you pack this into the groove in there pretty good. Any gap in there, pack it in there. just like that. We'll put more of that on later, but not right this minute. So you can see how it's packed in the groove real good there. This is kind of time sensitive, so it don't take forever doing this. Our mark is still straight up and down. I'm going to put my finger over the shaft, hold this back up, make sure the washer is out of the way. Kind of dark in there to see, so, oh yeah, it's got to go further. Straight through. Oh, look at that, like butter. Right in there like butter. Okay, now we're right up against our gear right now. Gear, I mean our O-ring. That's exactly where it needs to be. Okay, now we got to tap this in with a hammer a little bit. So I'm using my brass here. A relatively heavy hammer to push past the O-ring. And it goes in. That was it. That was a plate that just fell out. Ah! Something got me right on the edge here. Alright, where's my plate out? So there's our plate. Put that on there like that. And where is our nut for now? It is floating around here somewhere. Oh, it has a new nut. That's right. We've got a brand new nut here. Bender over cycle. They make some of the best stuff out there for Harleys. Can't think of anything I've really gotten in this was bad. Pretty much everything they make is good. And really good too, not just good. Not just so good. Good stuff. See, it's a nice nut, it's coated. It's probably heat treated a little bit. These ones here are just raw steel, who knows what they're made out of. Probably not as good. Okay, we're going to be putting a lock tab on this a little bit later. For now I'm just going to pull it in. I actually need to tighten it up. Where's my lock tab? See how the ears are already bent over on this lock tab? Didn't have to do it. Where am I at? Flat forward. Okay, right now I can put this in 2 gears at once. Usually I go into high gear. And second or third second over here, that locks the tranny up in gear. Now I can tighten this up without it moving. I'm trying to tack me. Which would be a good thing. I don't like being attacked. That is tight. Pop it out. Leave it in gear over here, make sure it rotates freely. Low gear gives you the best testing because low gear turns all the gears the most for 1 revolution, so it's good. No problem there, good. Okay, now we can go ahead and put our plate over here. So the flat spot goes against that. You got 2 flat spots, you got that one over there and you got this one over here. So if you go like this, you see nothing lines up. If you go like that, nothing lines up either. That's not a good sign. There you go. These holes in that flat line up now. Okay, where are those screws we have? I only had the one. Okay, we got the lock tab. This lock tab hooks onto the plate. Higher where you can see it. See, the other flat spot over here holds this is a dripped. All this is just a drip rail, whatever you want to call it. catches oil and drops it onto the main shaft, which will lubricate the throwout bearing and the kicker bearing, or the kicker gear. Okay, so I'll leave that sort of loose. A couple more screws here. So we got these screws over here because we're missing all this stuff. We conveniently left all this stuff out. Okay, these are Phillips headed screws. You don't have to put Loctite on these because the plate bends down when it's tight and it acts like a lock washer. It's a big spring. Okay. Okay, now I can tighten this up without it moving. That's this one as I recall. Nope. Ah, that's the one. Okay, that's tight. This thing will pull 200 foot-pounds, so if you see it, the nut kept turning every time I hit the trigger. It'll keep going until it spins it off, so stop at some point. Okay, so you can see how that plate's jammed in hard against that. The sealer just moved a little bit on the other side. I want to get that done first. And the sealer's over here. So now I take the sealer, see if the O-ring's sheared. And if it did, too bad. If nothing else, I'd make sure all of this stuff sticks in real nice and good, no air bubble. See no rubber sheared off, that's a good sign. Okay, I made sure I made a nice good layer of sealer across all the surface there. I'm going to come back here a little bit and coat that whole thing in sealer, but for now it's sealed. So there's no air bubble around the whole shaft. So that way it's, if there's no air but no hole, it can't leak oil out even if the O-ring does leak. So nice. I'm going to put a layer across the whole surface in a little bit. First I'm going to put all these gears in here though. Okay, let's make sure it still rotates. It does. We're still in low gear. We'll check second just for the hell of it. It does. Pull that out. And let's put it in third. Make sure third gear do not lock up on us. We're in third gear right now. Okay. Yep. I didn't feel it go in. Okay, there's third gear. So nothing's locked up. Because when we pull this one here, we might have locked up the gear. You never know. So we just checked every gear. They're all rotating. They're all good. So there's no issues there. It's not making any weird noises like the high gear did. Okay, now I get to tighten this up the rest of the way over here. Okay, so we got with a straight slot and a Phillips both. So use an impact knocker to tighten those all up. That wants to roll. Okay, fuck you, go over there. Okay, we've got to hold this up here. Do not put this on the main shaft because that screws the bearing. So find what you're going to put it onto and hold onto it. The problem with this is the shaft's against the side of the bench, so put the rag right there to protect it. Okay, which one are we going to use? We're going to use the big one or the small one? The big one fits. Come on. Hammer. Go over here, I'm just going to whack on this a little bit. Okay, give it a couple hits. Let's go here to 180 across on the other one. Do the same thing, tighten it down. Let's go back to our straight slot. One, two, three. Kind of quit moving. This one got loose. Give it a couple good whacks. Nope. Go back to this one again. Okay, it's not really moving anymore, so that means that screw's tight. That one's tight. That one's definitely tight. And that one's good. Okay, those are all tight. We had the rag in here protecting the threads up down here on the bench. Shaft is jammed against the side of the bench here. Make sure you protect things there. Okay, so now this is all nice and tight in here now, how we want it. Okay, this can be bent around a little bit to whatever you need it to be. This one here is already tight against that, so it's not going to go anywhere. Like I said, this is bent in a curve. I don't know if you can really see it. It's actually shaped like this, so it's got tension on those screws. Makes it a big spring. So now I got to find the lock tab that will hold this nut tight. This one obviously does not work. This one will make it go loose. This one will make it go tight, because it has to go that direction. So you tighten this one, not that one. And remember, you don't want to bungle up the plate behind it. You can see how the lock tab is still out slightly, but not a lot. Gets hard to get back under behind it. So you don't want to damage that shield back behind there. So a little bit of bend as far as you can go. And you kind of twist the screwdriver a little bit like that. Bend it over. Rotate around, you get a little better view of it there, and get to a little bit better. Okay, you go there with a little punch and knock it flat. You use a pair of channel locks in there. What are you going to use? So if you're using channel locks, bend it with this one, not this one. Works better, gives you more pressure. Sometimes it's pretty hard to get in here with that. Try one more. So this one here I can't really get in there very good. There it goes. There you go. Got in there nice and flat against the surface, so it ain't going to go anywhere. You could also come in there with a punch. Nice long one, like one of these. Come in here at a heavy angle like that and go tap, 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 tap. Brought it in. Both ways work good. This gives you a more even area because you can go up top to bottom. I did the middle and both sides separately. So I'm able to do it with that a little bit better. Too many pliers in my drawer there. Okay, so that worked pretty good on that. Everything clears like it's supposed to. Okay, so we know that nut's tight, and that one's definitely tight. And the sprocket we'll do tighten later, but we'll do the same thing when the cover's off, put in two gears at once. Okay, so this works pretty good right now. Now you can put all this stuff together right now, or you wait and do it later. I'm going to wait and do it later. So, there's no reason to do it right now. I'd rather get the shifting stuff handled and not worry about all this other crap later. So, what I usually like doing right now is just kind of let things kind of settle in a little bit. Looks pretty good. Alright, let me get ready for the shifter. We'll be back.